Today we're at Dunblane Cathedral. Now, Dunblane Cathedral is one of those rarities in Scotland. It's a medieval cathedral, which is still used to this day. Although the very first established church or religious centre is believed to originate back as far as the 9th century, there's nothing left of this church. If there is, it's most likely somewhere underneath the foundations of the existing building. The oldest part of the present building is the bell tower. Even then, it's been built in two separate periods, with the lower half having been built in the 1100s alongside but not part of the original church. It wasn't until the early 1230s, with the arrival of Bishop Clement, that huge steps were taken to build a building worthy of the status of cathedral. However, it was not without its difficulties, as Dunblane was actually the poorest part of the parishes in Scotland. In fact, when Bishop Clement arrived, he found a roofless church and the bottom half of the tower beside it. They sat in a parish that generated a paltry £640 a year compared to the £3,400 a year that Dunkeld Cathedral generated. This partly explains why the exterior of the cathedral is quite plain in appearance. It has very little in the way of intricate masonry or carvings, but nonetheless it still stands as a testament to the masons who built it way back in the 1100s and 1200s. As we walk along the northern side of the cathedral, it's clear that different parts of the cathedral were built in different periods due to the different types of stonework. The most elaborate carvings and stonework were reserved in the main for the entrances to the cathedral, as can be seen here. Even this fairly plain building would not have been possible had Bishop Clement not sought the approval of the Pope. But Bishop Clement's successors would also have played a part in the final construction of the cathedral. For example, it was Bishop Chisholm who sometime in the late 1400s had the tower raised to its present height. Apart from the contrasting stonework, it's also clear from the Romanesque windows on the lower half and the Gothic on the upper half that styles changed over the time of the construction. Once you step inside the cathedral, however, it's when you really appreciate the scale of the building and what was achieved, despite the parish being a very poor parish. The towering columns stretching the full length of the nave, topped by a stunning barrel-vaulted roof, present such a feeling of space and serenity. But it's only fair to point out that the roof was a later addition in 1889. Because of the Protestant Reformation in the mid-1500s and the ransacking of the cathedral, the nave was left to fall into disrepair for the next 300 years. Thanks to the work of architect Rowan Anderson, the nave was brought back to life. At the same time, the minister's pulpit was relocated here and a screen was created to separate the nave from the choir. Prior to this, the choir was where the Presbyterian church corps relocated to after the Reformation, hence why the nave fell into disrepair. But it is the work that was carried out in the late 1800s and early 1900s that make the interior of the church what it is today. Among the furnishings that were added in the 1900s are the canopied stalls that can be seen here in the choir with their very intricate carvings. In this scene we can see the misericord stalls. Others can be found at the far end of the nave. They are the best examples that can be found anywhere. They were provided as relief for the clergy who were tired from standing for long periods. Misericord means mercy seat. In the north aisle, at one time there would have been a number of small private chapels funded by the more wealthy members of the parish. They were used pretty much as private family chapels, and would have endowments on them to provide for priests who would pray for the family and to assure their path to heaven. These pieces of stonework were recovered when the cathedral was being restored in the late 1800s, and confirmed just from their design that the original church could be traced back to the 1100s through to the 1400s. As you leave the cathedral, you will pass the entrance to the original bell tower before making your way back outside. If you've enjoyed this overview of Dunblane Cathedral, remember to like and share, and if you would like to be notified of any new videos that we publish, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.